For a moment, the marsh hawk dips, then sets its wings, side-slips across the gusty air, and soars above a waving sea of grass, its sharp eyes searching for an unwary meadow vole. The windswept landscape below seems fluid, a watery transition between land and sea. Beyond the limit of the grass lie glistening flats of slippery mud, and beyond them the turbid waters of the mighty Bay of Fundy. Twice daily, turbulent tides sweep up the bay to cover the mudflats bordering the seaward margin of the grass. The silt-laden flood reverses the flow of rivers and in places spills across the low-lying grassland. Ever since the glaciers of the last ice age receded, those tides have deposited an ever-deepening gift of soil at the head of the bay. Over the course of 8,000 years, the sediment has filled an ancient valley to a depth in places of more than 40 meters. In the intertidal zone, vegetation stakes a claim to living space well below the high tide line. Closest to the water's edge grows saltmarsh cordgrass, a hardy plant whose tough stems and spreading root systems capture and stabilize seaborne sediments, accelerating the accumulation of soil that will be colonized in due course by other grasses and salt-tolerant plants. Further inland, above the reach of all but the highest tides, the grassy marsh becomes a flat, wet prairie. It was this fertile plain, extending inland as much as 8 to 10 kilometers, that attracted Acadian settlers to the area in the late 1600s. Familiar with the challenge of converting saltmarsh to productive farmland, they set to work building earthen dykes to hold back the tides, and ditches to drain the waterlogged soil and make it fit for crops and grazing. Where drainage ditches intersected with the dikes, the builders constructed aboiteaux, wood-lined culverts or box tunnels outfitted with one-way hinged doors. During the low part of the tidal cycle, fresh water draining from the marsh forced these hatches open and escaped. On the flood, however, the pressure of the rising tide held the doors tightly shut, preventing seawater from rushing in to reclaim the marsh. Successive generations of farmers, Acadians, New England planters, Yorkshiremen, and Loyalists, extended this practice of diking, ditching, and draining until by 1860 improved agricultural land in the Tantramar area encompassed more than 28,000 acres. Today's dikes, greatly upgraded in the 1960s, protect not only farmland but low-lying parts of the town of Sackville and the vital main traffic corridor linking the province of Nova Scotia and the rest of Canada. Since the 1960s, the Canadian Wildlife Service, working in collaboration with Ducks Unlimited Canada and other partners, has encouraged the conversion of more than 5,000 acres of unproductive farmland to freshwater wetland habitat, often maintained as a series of interconnected marsh impoundments. The Sackville Waterfowl Park and the Tantramar Wetland Centre are two highly visible examples of how this initiative has evolved. The 55-acre Sackville Waterfowl Park, which opened in 1989, offers year-round opportunities for up-close observation of wetland wildlife to all who explore its extensive network of trails and boardwalks. Just across the Trans-Canada Highway, the 50-acre Tantramar Wetland Centre was created in 1997 at Tantramar Regional High School, where it provides unique experiences in environmental education for thousands of students and visitors every year. In 2019, the Waterfowl Park was enhanced by a 22-acre extension on lands bequeathed to the town by the late Daniel Lund, expanding Sackville's complex of marshland green space to a total of 127 acres within the town limits. The Lund Park adds examples of wet meadow and upland forest to the range of habitats available for study and exploration. The marshes of Tantramar have been shaped and altered by centuries of human habitation. In turn, they have also shaped the lives and interests of the people who live here. Small wonder that Sackville has become an important center for wetland studies, or that the image of a duck welcomes visitors at the entrance to the town.